Today, we're going to tear into a trading book that's, well, not really about trading at all. It has almost nothing to do with charts or indicators and absolutely everything to do with what's going on inside your own head. Let's break down the core lessons from Dr. Brett Steenbarger's amazing book, The Daily Trading Coach. Right out of the gate, the book hits you with a massive curveball. It's not about the market, it's about you. The whole philosophy is baked into this one line. This book doesn't start with supply and demand, it begins with you. And let me tell you, once you really get that, it changes the entire game. So this leads us to a really powerful way of looking at things. Trading isn't just a way to make money, it's actually a vehicle for mastering yourself. Steenbarger completely reframes what it means to be a trader. You're not just some gambler playing the market. You are an entrepreneur. Just think about that for a second. A real entrepreneur doesn't just show up and hope for the best, right? They have a business plan, they manage risk, they track their performance. That's what trading is. You are building a business, and the product is your own performance. Okay, so if you're running a business, you've got competitors. But who's your main opponent? Is it the hedge funds, the algorithms? Nope. The surprising and kind of scary answer is, it's you. And this brings us to a question that honestly we can all relate to, even outside of trading. Why on earth do we keep making the same dumb mistakes over and over again? We know they're going to lead to pain, but we do them anyway. What is that about? Well, Steenbarger's big idea is that a lot of these problems have a scripted quality. These are patterns and reactions we learned way back, maybe as kids, and they just replay automatically whenever we get stressed out. You know, like maybe you learned as a kid that you had to be right all the time to feel valued. Well, how does that play out in trading? It could mean you hold on to a losing trade for way too long just because your subconscious is screaming that you can't be wrong. And this whole idea has a name, psychodynamics. It's really just about understanding how these old patterns from our past keep showing up in our present. The goal isn't to get stuck in the past, but to understand it so it stops controlling our future. So, how do you break these scripts? If you're stuck in a loop, how do you get out? According to Steenbarger, the key is to become your own coach. We all have that voice in our head, right? That inner monologue. Well, that's your inner coach, and it gets loudest and most powerful right at the moments we face risk and uncertainty. The real question is, what is that voice actually telling you when the pressure is on? Because that voice, it's usually one of two things. It can be a negative inner coach, the one it's critical, it's discouraging, it's always telling you what you did wrong. Or it can be a positive inner coach, one that's encouraging, that's focused on solutions, and that helps you build on what you do right. Learning to cultivate that positive voice, that's the secret sauce to breaking those old destructive patterns. All right, we've got the problem and we've got the solution. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does the actual process of change look like? Steenbarger lays out 3 clear phases. First, there's the phase where we're just repeating the old patterns on autopilot. We don't even really see it. Then comes phase 2, awareness. This is huge. It's when you finally see the pattern and realize, whoa, I need to change this. And finally, phase 3 is where you actively commit to doing things differently. But here's something that is so important to understand. This is not a straight line. You will have setbacks. You will fall back into old habits. But the key insight is this. Relapse is not merely a problem. It is a step on the road to change. It's not a failure. It's just a normal part of the process. It's a sign that you're in the fight. So all this inner work, this self-coaching, it all leads to this ultimate evolution in how you see yourself as a trader. It's about finally, truly treating your trading like a business. When you fully step into that role of being your own business coach, your entire focus shifts. It's not just about hitting a winning trade anymore. It becomes about doing the right things and doing things right. You become the CEO of you. And like any good CEO, you need a business plan. You need data. You have to answer some tough, specific questions. What are you going to trade and what's your strategy? What are your costs, your overhead? Realistically, how much can you expect to make and how much is that income going to swing up and down? These aren't just hopes and dreams. They are critical business metrics you have to know. And finally, no successful business can just sit still. Look, you need an edge to even have a chance at succeeding. But to sustain that success, you have to be constantly developing fresh sources of edge. You've got to innovate, you've got to adapt, just like any other company in a cutthroat market. So, As we wrap all this up, the book leaves us with this really powerful, almost philosophical idea. The idea that your life, and your trading is a part of that, is a partially finished work of art. See, the whole point of this entire process of becoming your own coach, building a business, mastering your own mind, it's not just about avoiding failure. It's about striving for excellence. As Steenbarger puts it, the enemy of greatness is not evil, it's mediocrity. And that leaves us with one last, really provocative question. This whole journey of self-coaching and self-mastery, it's an act of creation. So the question isn't just for your trading, but for your life. What work of art will you create?